for the welfare of society and just government of men. We beseech thee to behold with thy abundant favor us thy servants, whom thou hast been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this land. Let thy blessing descend upon us here in this house assembled. Grant us that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner to promote thy honor and glory, to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of this country and of those whose interests thou hast committed to our church. Amen.
Communication from the chair.
Honorable members, good morning to you all. Honorable members, please be informed that the earlier agenda featuring the under-mentioned documents, which were approved and circulated by the Assembly's Business Committee, has now been revised. They are the good practices between the government of the Gambia and the European Union for the efficient operation of the identification and return procedures of persons without authority to stay, and two, the operational conclusion on return modalities in the context of the implementation of good practices on return between the Gambia and the EU. Honorable members, this is necessitated by the fact that the said documents were only submitted to the Office of the Clerk for the general information of this Assembly and the fulfillment of a request made by some honorable members during the previous session of the Assembly. Unfortunately, the Office of the Clerk mistakenly took it as a request for consideration and ratification, while it was only meant for circulation to honorable members. Only the switch agreement was requesting for consideration. Therefore, the agenda has been amended to reflect only the switch agreement submitted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for ratification. Thus, at the appropriate time, the Honorable Minister will be invited for his business for today. Honorable members, the Office of the Clerk apologizes for any inconvenience this might have caused. I thank you. Clerk, can we proceed?
Correction and approval of records of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Monday, 4th September 2023.
Honorable members, the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Monday, 4th September 2023 is before us for consideration and approval. Can any honorable member please move that the said record of votes and proceedings be considered and approved? Nominated member, Honorable Maimouna Sise.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move the records of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Monday, 4th September 2020. Thank you.
Honorable members, it has been moved. Any seconder? Honorable member for Nyani.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of 4th September 2023 be considered and approved. Honorable members, we all have copies of the shared record of votes and proceedings. As usual, we will look through them page by page, and members may comment, may make their observations on each of the pages, beginning with page 1. Any observations or comments on page 1? Honorable members, we move to page 2. Jara Central.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for allowing me to draw you back to page 1. Honorable Speaker, page 1, if you look at the number 4, statement by Honorable Ministers, Order 94. I think it was only one minister who gave a statement here yesterday. Yeah, Honorable Speaker. Okay.
Full member.
It's okay.
Pardon?
I've been informed by the table office that it is.
Pardon?
I mean, I have been informed by the table office that it is okay like that. Exactly. That's how it was also indicated on the order paper here.
On the other paper, it was indicated, assuming that it will be many ministers who were to make statements. Now that following the activity, only one minister presented a report. How can you just copy as before? Any more observations on page 1? No more observations on page 1. We move to page 2. Honorable members, we move to page 3. Honorable member for Woodley East.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on the communication from the chair, I believe you made a statement yesterday, and I believe that used to be the practice that you indicate the statement in the minutes. If it just go like that, but how would we know what you have said yesterday? No, we want it here. It's our record. What was the practice?
Honorable member, you said what we should.
I'm saying, as far as my memory is concerned, when a speaker makes communication, it is captured in the minutes, not just
The entire communication?
Yes. Otherwise, it goes with all the errors.
Actually, usually in the minutes, do we capture the entire communication from the speaker? I have never, since I started, I have never seen one. Honorable members, I think this your document. It should reflect your opinions and the way you want it. What is your position on that, honorable members? We continue as it started. Okay?
Yes.
Speaker. Really? You have a different opinion.
One is to have the communication in the minutes because it is our records. You are always reminded by the records that this is what the speaker said on this particular day. So, but if you just a statement from the speaker without putting anything there, and there are some who were not even here yesterday, how would they know what you have said yesterday? So,
Honorable, the two things, members can always get it at the Hansard. The second part is, I have made a lot of statements. I have made a lot of communications, and it had never been captured in full. Pardon? It's the prerogative of honorable members to determine your record of votes and proceedings. Woolley. All you know?
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to help my colleague here because sometimes the communication from the Speaker does not concern the particular day sitting. Sometimes the communication can be of something general. You understand? And then we are looking at the records of votes and proceeding of the day sitting. So sometimes the communication is general. I think Hansan can capture that if you want to get it.
Honorable member, do you think this particular communication from the speaker should be captured?
no, let's make progress.
Any more on page 3? Honorable member for Upper Fuladu.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, under absenteeisms, members who were absent without permission, Honorable Mfali M. Kora, his name appeared under that list. And then he took permission from the table office. So I don't know why did his name appear under that category.
Honorable member, I have said it a million times now, that permission is not granted by the table office. And I've said it, I have reminded you, we allowed it go. I have instructed them that those that have not informed me and have granted them permission should not be put under absent with permission, whatever the circumstances may be. We move to page 4. Sorry, page 5. Honorable member for Woodley East.
Just that little thing, question put. What they have there is questions put. You put only one question to us, so it's just the question put.
Yeah, the last one, the last bit down. Question put, not questions. Any more on page 5? We move to page 6. All right, honorable members. It has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Monday, 4th September 2023 be approved with amendments. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Motion. Be it resolved that this August Assembly do consider and ratify the agreement between the government of the Gambia and the Swiss Federal Council on Cooperation in Migration Matters by the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation and Gambians abroad.
Thank you very much. May I now invite the Honorable Minister?
Good morning, Honorable Speaker. I want to move a motion on the Standing Order 53K, motion without notice. Honorable Speaker, I want to inform this August Assembly that my ministry did not seek for the ratification of the Gambia-Swiss agreement. The Office of the Clerk requested from my ministry signed agreements relating to immigration, which was shared following which we review an agenda. We receive an agenda with 3 items to be ratified, including this agreement. There are requirements and procedures that should be followed before a motion is sent to this Assembly for ratification of an international agreement. This includes it being discussed at cabinet level and at the Foreign Service Committee before it is brought to the Assembly. Furthermore, we have to pursue our national interests in whatever agreement we sign before ratifying it. There are parts of the agreement that need to be fulfilled by the parties before it could be ratified by the National Assembly. On that note, I propose that due process be followed before tabling a motion for the ratification of this agreement.
Honorable Minister, your motion, are you withdrawing it?
I beg to withdraw it, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, any seconder for the motion first? Yes, honorable member for all Yundum.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I second the motion. Thank you.
Honorable members, we've heard what the honorable minister said, and he has moved a motion, and the motion is seconded. It will not be debated. I put the question. He said what? Members, now let me put the question. Those in support of the motion for withdrawal, please raise your tags. All right, I have jumped the gun. No, the ayes have it. Honorable Minister, we will request that before documents are sent to Parliament, it is seriously reviewed by the executive to ensure that it follows all the relevant procedures before it's tabled at Parliament. We want to urge the executive to look into that, and please do that. So the bill is now withdrawn. The motion is withdrawn, and now
Honorable Speaker, with your permission,
who is the minister? Yes, go ahead.
I would like to shed light on the good practice document with your permission.
He said?
Honorable Speaker, I would like to shed more light on the good practice document agreement with your permission.
Honorable Minister, I am not following you. You said you want to?
I want to shed light on the good practice document the good practice document.
Document?
The the 2 points that were on the agenda and that has been withdrawn. Yeah.
All right. All right. No, honorable members, the honorable minister has just withdrawn the agreement with the Swiss government. Earlier in my statement, I told you that the office of the clerk had included for ratification by this parliament some other documents which initially were meant for your consumption based on your request. But the office of the clerk thought it was sent for ratification. Only when they read the letter, they came to realize it was for you and it was circulated. I think it's on those bases that those circulated documents is what the honorable minister wants to make certain information to you. Yes, honorable member for
there is an established practice here. If the honorable minister withdrew, do you understand? We thought that he has withdrawn everything. But if he wants to shed light on the good practice agreement, I'm speaking, please.
Honorable, I told you, please be patient with what somebody. He has a right to an opinion. Please.
Even asking a question.
Honorable member,
you go ahead on that agreement. That means that he's going to read from that agreement. Will that attract debate or not? That's my question. After
now,
on it.
No, what is happening is a document had been put on the records mistakenly by us. That's the office of the clerk. And that document is withdrawn. I've given you all the explanations behind. It's not meant for ratification. But it's a document that he believes that you people have received, he circulated to you people, And he should want to shed light on those documents for you to better understand it. And he can do that for you people. And that's going to be, I think that informs you better and puts you in good stead. Honorable Minister, can you go ahead?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to shed some light on the good practice document that was also put on the agenda without our request. The good practice document is a standard operating procedure.
Sorry, Honorable Minister, I think I've just told that the member for Busumbala had his tag up.
Very well, Honorable Speaker. Thank you so much. Honorable Speaker, we just want to be declared whether if the statement made by the clarification made by the minister will be subjected to further questioning to observe the one hour period of that interaction between the minister and the members.
No, it is not for debate or questioning. All what the minister, the document circulated to you is, I think most of you, I think you have the documents by now. He wants to throw more light on that document for you to better understand the document given to you. If at any time you have that document, you want the minister to come and do some things or for you to ask him questions, you are a parliament, you request for that and he comes. Can the Honorable Minister continue, please?
The good practice document is a standard operating procedure for managing the return of Gambians who have exhausted the rights to stay within the European Union. It is a readmission arrangement or a memorandum of understanding on the modalities for return, which was not signed by either parties, and it is not an international agreement that will require the National Assembly's ratification. It was agreed by both parties in 2018 as a memorandum of understanding, and its implementation started in 2019 with the development of operational conclusion on return modalities. The operational conclusions reflect the outcome of the MOU with a view to ensuring a proper implementation of the good practices on returns between the Gambia and the European Union. The operational conclusions operationalize the good practice document. The purpose of the good practice document and its operational conclusion is to ensure that the readmission of our nationals follow due process, including exhausting their rights, legal remedies to stay, their dignified return, our reception capacity, and their reintegration. As a government, we have developed a coherent policy in managing irregular migration as enshrined in the National Migration Policy 2020 to 2030. Consequently, it is the government's responsibility to discourage the youth folk from embarking on such perilous journey to Europe. However, the government has not and will not arrange or facilitate the return of anyone without due process being followed. In ensuring a comprehensive and mutually beneficial partnership on migration with the European Union and member states, the Gambia has been engaging the European Union, and this engagement will continue in a bid to consider the plight of our nationals that are currently within the European Union jurisdiction and have been law-abiding, and to consider them for integration. However, the removal or return of Gambian nationals from any European member state is exclusively the purview and authority of that country, while under international customary law, the Gambia as a country of origin for any of our nationals who have exhausted all their legal remedies to stay in that country has the responsibility and obligation to readmit them. The Gambia has been a beacon of hope and a good example of democracy. Hence, for the partners, it is our considered view that this should be the time to offer more support to the Gambia and not sanctions. Today, as we speak, migration continues to be an important foreign policy issue for the government. The ministry is currently faced with huge challenges on the repatriation of stranded Gambian migrants and we need to engage in a national conversation about irregular migration, and it costs the lives of our able youth. This is a national issue beyond partisan politics and requires concerted efforts from the communities, families, National Assembly members, SOEs, and NGOs. Many tragedies affecting Gambian migrants traveling irregularly has cost this nation enormously. An unfortunate situation is the boat carrying 39 migrants from Gunjur that went missing, and until today, for over a year, their whereabouts cannot be established. There are 169 migrants currently stranded in Niger, awaiting our repatriation. Over 100 migrants are currently in Libyan immigration detention centers, awaiting repatriation to the Gambia. How many Gambian youths are mentally ill and are in the streets of Italy and other European countries? These are a few examples to show the danger associated with irregular migration. We acknowledge the importance and how much remittance is coming to this country that is sent by migrants to support their families. However, this is no excuse for taking a risk that will cost one's life. The government has been preoccupied again and again in repatriating our stranded nationals from Libya, Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, and Niger. It is not fair on the government that when it repatriates hundreds of its nationals overseas who are stranded, it is not recognized. But when it readmits our nationals that have exhausted their rights to stay in another country, it is blamed. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for that clarity. Clerk, Honorable Minister, we will excuse you, and we want to thank you very much. Clerk, can we proceed?
Motion. Continuation on the debate that this August Assembly do consider and ratify the Arms Trade Treaty by the Honorable Minister for Defense.
Honorable members, you will recall that the motion was ably moved by the Honorable Minister for Defense yesterday and seconded. However, seeking the leave of the Speaker on the Order 53K, a member moved a motion to defer the debate on the motion, which was seconded and agreed to by this Assembly. Subsequently, the ABC Committee met yesterday and rescheduled the business today for a continuation on the debate. Honorable members, I have just been reliably informed that the Honorable Minister of Defense would want to take the podium and move a motion. May I now invite the Honorable Minister?
Honorable Speaker, honorable members of this August Assembly, honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, members of the press, good morning. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move a motion under 53K, motions without notice, for the withdrawal of the Arms Trade Treaty Agreement. The reasons for the withdrawal is to allow us to proceed with the signing of the treaty and then later proceed with the ratification process of the ATT. I thank you.
Honorable members, a motion has been moved under Order 53K. Any seconder? Honorable, is it majority? Who is there? Opanyomi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I raise a second motion. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, you can take your seat. You have moved the motion.
Honorable Speaker.
Somebody is calling. Honorable members, when you have a motion on the floor, the motion is seconded, allow it to settle and then you come with your comments. Honorable members, the motion to withdraw the arms treaty agreement has been moved and seconded. Now I put the question. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. And therefore, the motion is withdrawn. And it will be considered when all the processes are completed. Now, who are the honorable members? Kiang West, honorable member for Kiang West, you want to say something?
Yes, Honorable Speaker. I also want to reiterate that it, just as you rightly said, it took Member of Parliament's time to look at documents. If anybody wished and definitely want to engage in national business seriously in Parliament, we've taken time to look at documents, and I think it's very important for members to do that. So if the withdrawal is because of another reason, one could understand, but just because the cabinet could not exhaust the process that has to be done before reaching Parliament, that's supposed not to be done. The cabinet is supposed to do everything to ensure that what's supposed to be done at the level of the Parliament before requesting ratification. But for that not to be done and bringing documents for ratification and in the same day to withdrawal because the cabinet failed to follow the due process is definitely unacceptable. And I think this Parliament has to be respected for that.
Honorable members, I allowed you, but it's not time for debate.
Before they bring their documents to this Parliament.
Honorable members,
this is not acceptable.
It's not time for debate, but I allowed him rest his case. But what is happening is, what we understand, the executive has a right to withdraw anytime. Two, listen, please. Two, Parliament has a right to request the executive to do A, B, or C at any time. Three, from what the Honorable Minister said and what I think I heard, is that the process was incomplete and it was sent to Parliament. And if you remember, when the Foreign Minister was here, that was what I told him, that the executive must put their house in order before they send acts or bills or motions to Parliament. Very clear. So, for that, I think they will take note and we will take note. But any time that Parliament can make requests for clarity on certain issues, for information on issues, for whatever. So, honorable members, following the withdrawal of this motion, I will now have to put the question, honorable members. But before I put the question, let me thank all of you, honorable members, and the clerk and the assembly service, and of course, honorable members, honorable ministers, and their technical team, backups who were here. Juma? Yes, I understand. Is it of Lower Salum? Lower Salum, your tag is up.
Honorable Speaker, I want to stress on the issue of this, what the member for Kiang.
Honorable member, I've just said that it's not for debate. I only allowed him to complete his statement. I said that.
Allow me also to complete my statement.
No. I will not encourage it. Honorable minority.
Honorable Speaker, on a different note, I want to act on 53K to seek the permission of the Speaker to allow FPAC to sit during the session to review and adopt our report. Sorry, to amend my motion.
Honorable minority.
The Speaker and Parliament.
Let's get a seconder.
I already amended. I said to amend my motion, the Speaker and Parliament.
Honorable members, it has two sides. The leave of assembly is there, but the Speaker can also grant him to go. So, and it's one job. We are in a haste to get that report from FPAC. It's very critical and very... So, it's seconded by Sani Mentereng, is seconded it, and is granted. Counter motion is granted not by the assembly, by leave of the Speaker. It's not granted by the assembly.
Honorable Speaker, I didn't even second the motion.
Granted by leave of the Speaker.
He has moved the motion. He has moved the motion, Mr. Speaker.
Somebody is talking. Sani Mentereng.
No, I just wanted to say that I didn't even second the motion, but since you've granted it, that's okay. Thank you.
Okay, Sani Mentereng, can you second the motion?
I rise to second the motion. Thank you.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that FPAC committee be granted leave of absence from assembly sessions to look at their business. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Motion, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker. Who is shouting? Who is Sabak Sanjal? Sabak Sanjal.
Yes,
Sabak Sanjal.
I'm calling for division.
Sabak Sanjal.
Yes, sir.
Can you please, these people are going to do a job for Parliament. You don't want scrutiny? But what is the essence of division? Why just what a few of you? And would you have not changed your mind? How can you stand here and tell people we don't want FPAC to do their job? That's what you are saying. That's what you are implying. No, I'm not taking motions. Let me now put the question. That be it resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned until Wednesday, 6 September
Speaker, motion.
2023.
Senate,
Those in favor, please say aye.
Honorable Speaker, motion.
Those not in favor, please say no.
Honorable Speaker, there's a motion.
The ayes have it. This assembly now stands adjourned until Wednesday, 6 September 2023 at 10 a.m. prompt.
Senny, I'll be assembly to case. Tell the speaker that what he is doing is not correct.